This game is best enjoyed with a bag of Milky Ways. Or not. We'll take the initiative to see how this game will do in the video game market. Amnesia, a machine for pigs, was created by a British developer called The Chinese Room. The game was published by Frictional Games and serves as an indirect sequel to The Dark Descent. This was originally supposed to be a mod for the game, but the two companies got together and decided to make it stand alone. Let's take a look. Set in 1899, you play as Oswald Mandus, a wealthy entrepreneur searching for his children who are trapped somewhere in his industrial complex. Right off the bat, the game has been dumbed down from what The Dark Descent was. They've done away with the inventory system. This means they've simplified the puzzles, so you don't have to figure out what objects do or how they're used. This also removes the resource management. This means no managing tinderboxes, laudanum, or lantern oil. Your lantern can stay on forever, you have regenerating health, and you don't have to keep your sanity in check. Going into this, I assumed it would play out similar to The Dark Descent, so as I was going through the areas, I was always on the lookout for good places to hide. Turns out, you don't actually need to do this. All I had to do was move tactically and outmaneuver the piggies. Even if they did find me, they give up after I turn a few corners. Finally, the game is very linear. There's no backtracking between the areas, and when you take into consideration the simplified puzzles and the lack of inventory, what you end up with is a first-person shooter without the shooting. I wasn't impressed with the game. I was disappointed. My intention was to play for 2 or 3 hours to give my first impressions of the beginning. I finished the game in this time. I want to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, so I won't talk about the story. I have very little to say about this game because, gameplay-wise, there's very little to discuss here. I was looking forward to crapping my pants. Well, not really. And I wanted to freak out at everything before I look on YouTube to see everyone's reactions to the game. Well, there goes that idea. Speaking of which, here's my analysis of the game. I expect to see lots and lots of Let's Plays in the next few weeks. It's another game in the Amnesia series, and it was fun to hear the reactions of the players during those spooky moments. But I doubt they'll have the same entertainment value as The Dark Descent. There's not a whole lot to be scared of, and I think the Let's Players will have to overreact to every little thing just to keep their audience watching. I don't expect them to be genuinely freaked out. In a few months' time, this game will be dead. This is a game that's only good for one playthrough, and without the survival horror mechanics of the previous game, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. I don't expect any worthwhile mods to be made for the game. It does have the steampunk theme to it, so any mods will revolve around that. The problem lies with the game missing all the mechanics from The Dark Descent, so unless they enable an inventory system or some type of resource management, the mods will suck anyway. DLC? I'm thinking there may be a side story related to this, but I don't expect anything. If there is, it'll probably be something that should have been in the game in the first place. It just seems to me that A Machine for Pigs is in every way inferior to The Dark Descent. Not simply as a direct comparison of the two games, but it's missing some of the key things that made The Dark Descent great in the first place. To put it bluntly, this game has been pussified. I would not recommend this, and it's $20. If you really want to play this game, wait for the price to drop. I don't think I'll need to follow up on this game, but I have to do it anyway along with everything else in a few months. So look forward to that, and thanks for watching.